Hello Flosstube and welcome back to my second Flosstube video. Did I just say Flosstube a lot? I think I did, but I'm just going to keep rolling with it. So my name is Melissa. I am the Cupcake Stitcher. If you are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you have come back to watch my second video, thank you so much. I made my first video 2 weeks ago and I cannot believe that somehow I had over 2,000 views and I have 500 subscribers with one video. You guys are awesome. Like I said, I'm going to try and do a 1.5 to 2 week schedule, but we'll see how that goes. But I'm so incredibly thankful for everyone who's watched my video, anyone who shouted me out. I did not expect when I made my first video that I would have over 2,000 views and 500 subscribers. That's ridiculous. So thank you if you commented. If you've, passed my name along to anyone else, you guys are amazing and have made me feel very, very welcome with my, Flosstube debut. So I don't really have a plan of how I'm going to go through things today. I kind of ride by the seat of my pants, but I have things spread out on my couch on either side of me. So it's going to be interesting, and then it's going to drive me crazy because I'm going to have a mess to clean up, but such is life. So first thing I wanted to do, I wanted to send out a couple shout outs to some other Flosstubers. First one, of course, Pam and Steph. I feel like many of you found me through them. And, like Steph said, making friends as an adult is not as easy. But I'm just so incredibly thankful that I took a chance and I went to Stitch Away and found her and Pam because they're awesome. I love them. They're just amazing people. Second person I wanted to shout out was Christine from Stitch All the Things. So I have just started watching her videos recently, and I know every single person has addressed this already, but there's been a lot of drama in the cross-stitch world as of late, and I'm not going to hit on this hard because so many other people have. I stated in my last video, I don't like drama. I stay out of it. I feel like I don't know. You don't need everybody's opinion. And Christine made a video that if you haven't watched, you should. If I can figure it out, I'll link that video down below in the box. She talked about Garrett and Katie being the mom and dad of, Stitch Mania group. I'm going to call you, Christine, the mom of Flosstube, because you're telling all of us what we should be doing and giving us a very good, heartfelt, thoughtful, and necessary lecture. Just awesome. Great video. I commented on it. I really enjoyed it. So many people have commented on this issue. I'm not going to go much more into it, but Christine, thank you for your video. It was very appreciated and very well said. The last Flosstuber I wanted to shout out was Heather Moore. She sent me a pattern this week, and I'll get to that in my haul rack type stuff. I'm going to try and do that at the end. I also have gone back and watched several of your videos this weekend. And your last video just tugged on my heartstrings. I have really enjoyed your videos so far and plan to probably go back and watch all of them because you are a girl I can get down with. I just wanted to let you know that you are my people, even though we really haven't had much conversation. You're just a kind soul. And again, you're awesome. So go watch Heather if you haven't. Her videos are great, and she stitches some cool pieces too. So, life updates. I've been busy. We're all busy, right? I can't remember what I did last weekend. I probably did something. Oh, last Friday night. Thursday night. I baked cupcakes for one of my coworkers. It was her son's birthday, and they were doing a little birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese. Now I had already committed to making a cake for her on his actual birthday, which was Tuesday. So I made cupcakes Thursday night, took him into work Friday. And then I baked a cake for him Sunday night. Came home from work so I left work at 7. I had a really busy Monday. It was awful, but I got through it. Came home from a really long day at work and proceeded to decorate said cake. It was cute. It was a Reds baseball cake, really simple. If you go onto my Instagram account, Cupcake Stitcher, you'll see the picture of the cake and his cake from last year. So he wanted a combine cake, which for a girl that grew up in the city, I had no idea what a combine even was when I first started working in my clinic, and every single person made fun of me. I know what a combine is now, and I made a combine cake last year, and I have to pat myself on the back because it's pretty freaking cool. So go check that out on my Instagram feed. But yeah, so that was decorated Monday. And then Monday, one of our techs has decided to retire. So the boss asked me to make cupcakes for her retirement party on Wednesday. So Tuesday night, I went home and I made 60 cupcakes to take into work on Wednesday, which is normally my day off. One of our PTAs, though, her kids were sick. So I got called in. And I worked the morning. They wanted me to stay all day, and I was just like, listen, I will stay if you need me to after lunch, but I really don't want to. So if we can make that happen, I'd appreciate it. And they made it happen. So I got to go home, and then I actually went to Cross My Heart and did some shopping, which you'll see some of my haul later on, like I said. And then I was supposed to make cupcakes again for Friday. We closed the clinic down at lunch. And I saw patients from my normal start time at 7:30. My last one was at 10:30 or 11:15. I don't remember which one. But pretty much we went up to half day with patients, and then from 12 to 8 Friday, and then 7 to 2 yesterday, Saturday, we took a course as a group. So we learned about instrument-assisted soft tissue mobilization, which if you've ever been a patient in a physical therapy clinic, you may have seen these like metal tools. We had already taken the first course. This was the second course on the tooling. And then we also learned about cupping, which if you've ever watched the Summer Olympics, it kind of made a big splash in the news. At the last one with Michael Phelps, he had all these like bruises on his back. So we learned about cupping, which was pretty cool. It was interesting. I normally have super sensitive skin, but I did not bruise at all. And some of my other, coworkers had these giant brown red welts. They're not painful. They're not really tender even, but they have these giant like colored blocks on their back. And it was funny because one of the girls decided to work out after the course. So we're all taking our test for the course to be certified, and she's working out on the treadmill. And someone's like, Marie, when did you get a tattoo on your back? And then we're like, oh, those are the circles. But the way that they were placed with her shirt, it was like it could have been a tattoo. It was kind of funny. And then I also dog sat this weekend for my parents. They went out of town. They went to Cincinnati. My brother is in the Army Reserves and is going to be deployed at the end of April. So they had a weekend-long information type session about his deployment and communication, and my mom really liked it. She got numbers of some of the other girls, wives, mothers of people in his unit. So I think that'll be really good for her to have kind of someone that she can reach out to. Obviously we are all very proud of my brother. but are nervous about his deployment for a year. So we don't know really where he's going just yet, but I will keep you guys updated on that as, you know, things kind of develop. So they just came and picked up the dog. She went home. She was very happy. She likes me, but she loves my mom. So I'm number 2 in her heart, not number 1. So that's life updates. Enough prattling along. It's already been 10 minutes. So I'm going to get into whips that I worked on in the last 2 weeks since you guys have seen me. Go through haul and then probably call it a day. I have laundry to do. I already heard it beep once, so something's still going. Washer or dryer. I think it's the washer still going, but I'm going to have to go down and change that at some point. I have to go to the grocery store. It's Sunday. I have things to do, and I've sat down to do this instead. Uh-oh. What's my battery at? My battery's at 15%, so I better rush through this pretty quickly. So the first piece I worked on was my Day of the Dead. I worked on this, I want to say, for 8 days. I got my stitchy journal with me. I'm going to show this to you guys too. Since you've seen me last, I worked on this one for, it says 7. I actually feel like it was 8 days. So I may have messed up on that. I don't always record the day that I do it. So I've gotten a second page done for the month. And this is showing up really, really well here. So about here was where it ended. So I did all of this. This eye is amazing. Just look at that. So cool. So I love this piece. 2 pages a month is a lot. You know, each page is about 7,000 stitches. I did these 2 pages here in the month of February. This is a finished goal for me this year. We'll see if it happens. Here is the full piece. I really have to lean far back on my couch. I'm giving myself a nice double chin. Full piece so far. So, Kathy, if you're watching this, you had commented on Instagram that, oh yeah, I really want to see this done at StitchCon. Girl, it's not going to happen. Maybe at next year's Stitch Away. That's my goal. Maybe it'll be a show and tell piece finish. Oh, here's the whole piece. Day of the Dead, artwork by Maria Domova. She has since changed her Etsy store name, probably because I called it out last time I made a video. I hope that's not the reason. I'm going to link the pattern down below anyways, just because I've had a couple of people on Instagram ask who made it. So I'm stitching on an 18 count fiddler's cloth, 2 threads. It's turning out pretty well. I like the coverage. I'm a full coverage freak, so I like things nice and thick. The second piece I worked on was a new start, and these are, I'm going to be doing the whole series of them, and I just happened to start with March. So these are the birthday cakes from Brooks Books Publishing. They have a spring, summer, fall, winter set. This is currently the one that I am working on. It is March, of course. These are awesome. They're pretty easy to stitch up. They are free, and they have some beading in them, which I'm excited about. So I still have to get one of the bead colors, but everything else I have. So this is my progress so far on this. And you're like, Melissa, you're almost done. Yeah, I am. So I still have some flowers and stuff to fill in here, finish the candle, more flowers there. This needs to all be stitched in white. And then I haven't decided, there's a really simple border that goes around the edge. I haven't decided if I'm going to do that yet or not. But obviously I like to bake. These are perfect. They're monthly. They're going to go in my kitchen. I have a little clipboard picture frame that's super cute that I got at Michael's. So once I finish one of these, I probably won't have them all done this year. That would be a goal, but I also have a goal to finish that full coverage piece, Day of the Dead, so we'll see what happens. For some reason, getting this started gave me a crap ton of problems, and I don't know why. Like, I had to frog something up in here in the white and down in here. I completely counted wrong. I did not count wrong at all on this. No counting wrong on this, but counting wrong on this. Someone please explain that to me. I think my brain was like, oh, this is a super easy stitch. No problems. Problems ensued. So I had that. Those are my 2 whips that I worked on this week. Things I plan to get started with next. Probably pull this out and start working on at least the next page. Thankfully March is 31 days and not 28. So I should have a little bit more stitching time. And the more I get into her hair, the farther down, the easier it gets because a lot of it's black. 310 and 939, that dark navy blue. So, haul. I'm going to go into haul next. So I went to Cross My Heart on Wednesday after my half day of work, and I, went and spent money because that's what we like to do with this hobby. So I bought some things, obviously, that I needed. Mill Hill beads in white for this little guy here. Hopefully these will work. I believe the pattern calls for, maybe it doesn't. It doesn't tell you what count to stitch it on. I'm guessing probably like a 14 or something equivalent to a 14 or 16 count. This is 36 count. Smoky blue. Linen. I got off a 1, 2, 3 stitch. I had planned to use it for another project and it was too green for what I wanted to do. Oh, and I forgot to mention here. So this color, this green color here, is actually supposed to be a super light color. 772. I have my floss sitting right here. So it was actually supposed to be this color, and I changed it because I thought this was just way too light and I didn't really care for it, so I changed it to 703. I forgot to put that on Instagram, but made a little change to it. Alright, so I bought those beads for that. Got some more Mill Hill beads. I think these are for, I think I took May, April, and March to kit them up. So these beads are for those 2 charts. I think there's still, like I said, there's still more that I have to order that they didn't have in stock at Cross My Heart. Got some beading needles to go with that. And then these were just spur of the moment purchases, just random fancy floss colors. These are all classic colorworks. This first one is Caribbean Waters. I love blues, grays, bright colors, so this one's super, super pretty. Frozen Margarita. I may have just bought this one because I like margaritas. There we go. Frozen Margarita. And last one is Shrimp Cocktail, which I believe Pam just used on something, one of her charts. But again, really pretty, really variegated. I don't know what I'm going to do with these, but I feel like all 3 of them should go together because it's really pretty. Pretty, pretty. So those are the random things that I bought. I did buy some more Classic Colorworks, this time in Cupid. So when I went to Stitch Away, I bought, and I'm planning to do a video at some point about Stitch Away. That way I can really recognize, all the people that were there and show you all my purchases from that. I didn't want to do it today because, like I said, I have a bunch of other things to do. But I bought Madame Chantilly Kiss This is the pattern. It says Kiss Rudolph before to start. Obviously the patterns, I believe, are created in French and then converted to English, which is why Kiss Rudolph before to start doesn't make much sense, but that's okay. It's cute. So most of the colors in here are DMC. Obviously you can see Santa in the picture has variegated floss. It actually calls for a DMC variegation. Sorry, I don't know why it's, there we go. Super blurry. Yeah, it doesn't, you can substitute DMC 326 with color variations 4210. I looked at it and that floss was just really purpley, and I don't think Santa should be purple. So I ended up getting Cupid instead. So it's nice because it's got some darker reds, but then still a really vibrant red. And I also bought this fabric when I was at Stitch Away, Petite Point 32 count. It's in blue though, instead of the raw linen like it shows in the pattern. I think that's really gonna pop off of there. I like it. So that was one of the purchases that I got. That over there. Sorry if my face just got really close to the camera. Another thing I got from Stitch Away, and this is not a pattern I paid for, this is a pattern that was gifted to me from my BFF Steph. So she showed this not too long ago on her channel, the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Sugar is Sweet sampler. So she stitched it pretty much as is. There were a few little like random little starbursts that she didn't add to the pattern. Obviously I was standing right next to her as she finished it, and she was like, do you want the pattern? And I said, yes, I want the pattern. It's got baked goods on it. I'll put that in my kitchen. Not that there's a ton of room to put any more cross stitch in there, but I'll find a way. So I took that to the store with me and I wanted to kind of kit it up. I do plan on doing a conversion of sorts to this. When I was at Stitch Away, I found a really cute shortcut gassed thread in Banker's Gray. Blues, grays. I think I told you those are my colors. This one's got like a nice streak of white in there too. Oops, really having a hard time with catching that. Maybe using this in there. Somewhere like in here. So I took that to the store. I already had that, but I grabbed this, which is 28 count casual linen. It's just a white opalescent fabric. It's sparkly. I think it's gonna look great. So that and that. The other thing I took to cross my heart was the Cricut Collection Skeleton Crew. I always want to call this Dead Man's Ship, but it is Skeleton Crew. So this is one of the pieces I want to work on at some point this year. I don't know when I'm going to start it. Cross My Heart has a stitched model of this with several conversions. I asked them about those conversions, and they of course had a notebook with everything written down. So she was like, do you want me to write you all this down? I was like, no, I'll just take a picture on my phone. So I snapped a quick picture and kind of went through and bought some of the things that I needed. So one of the things they did in the chart was they converted like the moon and the fish, different parts of it, to the Kreinik, the glow in the dark Kreinik. So I bought some of those. And I thought these were all number 4 braid because that's the section I got them out of, and one of them is number 8. But this one technically wasn't even called for, so I may not use it, but it was my favorite and I want to stitch with it. So I got 051F number 4, very pretty orange. 053F, which is this chartreusey green. And this one was my favorite. This is the number 8 versus the number 4. 056F. It's blue. Shocker. Melissa likes blue. So those are the 3. They're really awesome. So I got those. And then, what was the other? Oh, so there's a whole bunch of, you probably can't even see it. On the chart here, they have, it's almost like water or something splashing off the back of the boat. They did those in beads. So I got those. And then the water is charted in DMC 502. It's really a grayish green. It looks more blue on the picture, but it doesn't matter because they did it in, and this is like the prettiest color ever, Bermuda Reef from water lilies. We talk about that for a minute. This is amazing. So I'm going to be doing my water like that. And then they also did beads for little splashes on the water instead of stitches. So they didn't have that color of bead, so I'll have to order that on 1, 2, 3 stitch most likely. So there is that. I got 2 things in the mail this week. One was a purchase for my Rapunzel. So in the pattern, it calls for, you can see on her bodice, these little buttons, which are actually crystalettes, which is the world's smallest button. And you can only get them, well, I've only ever seen them online. I've never seen them in any stores or anything like that. And she posted a link, but I was never sure like which beads it actually was. But she ended up buying out quite a bit of that lady's stock and is now selling them on her page, which I think is better because I didn't really need this huge set. There's 5 for that chart. So what she did was she sent them in packs of 6. I don't know how well these are actually going to show up. So there we go. So they're really like rainbowy looking type buttons. You can kind of see it's got like a little loop there. So we'll see how those attach at the very end if I can figure that out. But those came in the mail. And then the last thing was my chart from Heather Moore. She sent me a lovely little card. Girl, I love this. It's fun and it's pretty and the card is gray. So thank you for the little note. I will plan to pass it on as soon as I'm done with it. And this was one of her most recent finishes. Snow Days by Country Cottage Needleworks. So there it goes. Super cute. So I probably need to go back to Cross My Heart and get some fabric and threads for this so I can start this one. But that I think is it. No, it's not. I wanted to show you guys my cross stitch journal. So this is it here. I've had a ton of questions, comments on my monthly pages, and I've only posted one, so I'm going to show you that one. This is January. So I try and keep it pretty simple. This is just a notebook from Michaels. It's got the little, I don't even know if you can see it. Yeah, you can. The little dots, which makes it really easy to create lines and charts and grids and stuff. So this is my January WIP tracker. You can see I worked on 5 different projects here. If anything has a star, it indicates some kind of finish. So whether that was a page finish or an actual completion. So that was my Seasons of Chalk Winter. That was completely finished. Stitching. And then anything that's outlined here in the box was a new start. So you can see in January I started Seasons of Chalk Spring in my Mucha Rapunzel from Pinky the Pink. So this was February that I finished updating and doodling at the top. I only worked on 4 things. My Rapunzel, Day of the Dead, you can see I spent most of my month on that. My Thug Life piece, you can see these little lines here. I did that because that was the day I FFO'd it into the hoop finish. And then that was one new start and finish. And then my second start was my March cake, which I started right at the end of February. So I just wanted to show that to you. I might change this up a little bit, only make it as long as I need it to, and then maybe do like number of starts, number of finishes, page finishes, something like that on the bottom. But I've just been playing with this. This is the first time I've ever done a bullet journal of sorts. And so far I'm liking it. So I just wanted to show that to you. These are all just stickers, like you can see they're like 3D. But it's cute, it's sparkly. So this was just a plain blue journal that I put a whole bunch of stickers on. So that is that. I think I only had one question about how I use DMC light effects. I might go into that at another point in time. I'm going to try and address your question below. I just haven't gotten back to you yet. I need to go through and answer several of the other ones. And again, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone that has watched my videos, commented on my videos, liked my videos. I think I may have had one dislike. I don't know what I did to make someone angry, but I don't really care. Several Ohio Stitchers, you know, kind of pointed out like, oh, we have meetings here or we meet up here. There was one comment that literally just like disappeared. Like it shows up in my email and I went to reply to it and it like didn't exist on YouTube. So I can't remember what her name was. She said that I think you were from Delaware and you guys meet at Polaris for stitching once or twice a month. But it's nice to know that there's a ton of stitchers in my area. Some are very, very close to me, which is great. Hopefully, you know, at some point we could meet up and stitch and hang out and, you know, make this solitary craft into a non-solitary craft, which is why retreats are so great. So if you have any questions for me, please leave a comment below. I will try and get back to you. And thanks so much for watching, and I will see you in a week to 2 weeks. Thanks. Bye.